Chronological Bible in a Year, Day 86. We continued the story in Joshua. We saw more borders drawn, and it made me start thinking, what would it look like if we took a map of Israel, as we know it today, and we overlaid it for scale over a map of the tribes as they were distributed? What land is still there? What land has been lost? What land is in conflict? It would be a fascinating map to see. I'm sure someone has made one. But there are a few more instances here where we're told that as they tried to take the land, they either left some inhabitants, putting them into forced labor, or they were afraid of the inhabitants. We're starting to see the Israelites' confidence in God erode. Despite their successes, we're seeing them start to doubt God's ability or God's provision, or perhaps they're like, we would rather have slaves than corpses. We don't know what's going through their mind at this point in time, and it's fun seeing how the Bible is written over time. So we see here in chapter 16, the Canaanites who lived in Gezer are still there, but they're forced laborers. But as we keep reading, eventually we'll get to Solomon as the king, and we're going to learn that the Pharaoh destroys this group of Canaanites and gives this land as a wedding gift to Solomon when Solomon marries Pharaoh's daughter. So it's kind of interesting seeing these parts on this side of history, knowing where they're going. And I guess I should have given you a spoiler alert in case this is your first time reading through. But it's amazing seeing their faltering, but how over time, for most of these, either the people will be a spur on their side, as we'll see in the Judges, or God uses the Israelites or some other means to eradicate those who worship false idols and lead God's people astray. Which made me wonder, are there times in my life where, despite reason pointing towards God's goodness, I lose faith in God? And the answer is yes. I can name a fair few of them. So then I ask why? Why do I start to doubt God in light of his provision, in light of his providence? Why don't I believe he will do what he says he will do at times? It kind of goes back to what we were saying the other day about we need those stories of God's provision within our families to remind us that God is there, God is working, and God will fulfill what he has promised to do. We've got a few more days left in Joshua before we jump to one of my favorites, the book of Judges. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this comes to a great conclusion. But until then, God bless.